All right, a new episode, real time. I think we're on number 14.
You know, you're excited because it's Cinco de Mayo weekend.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Cinco de Drinko.
Cinco de Mayo, or as the Trump administration calls it, May 5th. You know, I mean, Jesus Christ. Now he's saying that chemtrails are real. This has been a conspiracy theory for the longest. You know, the things that come out of the end of a plane. Yes, planes make smoke. The engine on a plane is hot, and the air up there is very cold. Oh, fuck it. I don't give a shit. Like, believe what you want to believe.
I don't know what chemtrails are exactly, but that street they leave behind, it can't just be exhaust.
The numbers are kind of in the toilet. 39% of America approval rating. That's the lowest 100-day mark for a president in 80 years. It's like America remarried their ex and remembered why they got divorced in the first place. Since Trump took office, the value of the dollar is off 10%. The economy has shrunk for the first time in 3 years. Consumer confidence is down for the first time in 5 years. Kind of a high price for getting back plastic straws is what I would say.
Yeah. Or cheap eggs.
And, you know, the ports, I don't know if you go to the ports, I don't, but I've seen. Well, you always see that, you know, it's always been the bustling port of the bustling, no bustling.
No.
What happens, they say soon, the shelves at Walmart could be 90% bare. Just
My
like
God.
the people who shop there. Trump said, well, maybe the children this year will get $2 instead of 30, and maybe they'll cost more.
Coming from a billionaire.
Right. So there's less on the shelf, and it costs more. What's your problem, people? Just imagine you live at the airport. I mean, what?
Yeah.
He's also opening a new Trump-branded store called Toys R Sus. To bring manufacturing back from China to make the things here that they make in China? That's the American dream? Hey, you see that Squirtle hanging off that girl's backpack? My kid made that. Not all bad news. We're getting a military parade for Trump's birthday. So,
This guy.
you know, tanks in the street, just what we need. They are the iconic comedic duo who are featured in their new documentary, Cheech and Chong's last movie, now in theaters, Cheech and Chong.
Yeah. Woo. Legend.
And the treatment, playing stadiums. You guys had hit singles.
Yeah.
I mean, Eddie Murphy did it, Steve Martin did it, Dice Clay did it, Russell Brand did it, maybe a little too much. Movies, the singles, the music, the stage stuff. But then it's now. You see the two of you driving in the car.
Uh-huh.
That's the director. He got it out of us, you know. We didn't sign up for it.
These guys are high as hell.
Oh, good. And then the way he had it, wrote it, Dave Bouchel?
Michelle?
Got to get his name right.
For anyone who's ever been curious about why bands break up and why they come to hate each other's fucking guts, this is the movie for you.
Yeah.
I mean, at one point you say something like Tommy moved to France and, you know, his ego just surpassed his talent or something like that.
What'd he say?
No, that's not what I said. I said his ego way surpassed his talent.
Right.
Oh.
You know, at one point you say you're the senior member. Which I'm sure pisses you off.
No, not at all. Because we're way older. But he is a senior member.
Right,
No.
meaning he's older than you. But I mean,
And that senior member isn't working anymore. No, the thing is, you have to be. If you're a director, you have to direct. That's the way it is. And if you don't direct, you don't work.
Okay.
It's a talent. It's like playing
He is
music,
high as
you know.
hell, for real.
That's why music is so popular, because it's so real, and because we're looking for a director. And we had a little conversation. I knew I was bugging him, you know. I had that feeling, you know, like, who is this? What do you want?
Remind me of some of his movies.
Days of Heaven,
Badlands.
Badlands.
That's the one I really love.
These are not funny.
No, I'm talking about the whole movie experience.
And you thought that would have been good for a Cheech and Chong movie?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. And so I talked to him. And,
Look at Bill looking at the
it was a short
camera.
Conversation. He says, I talked to him, and it was a short conversation. He says, he said, did you write it? And I said, yes. And he said, well, then you direct it.
Right.
Bands all our lives.
And you had the same kind of popularity. And you,
And by the way, Bill, I wrote the song.
that makes the whole world
He
sing.
does have a big ego.
It was called Up in Smoke.
Right.
And I sang it for the people, and Cheech said, am I right?
Yeah, so far.
And Cheech said, because Lou wanted to call it Cheech and Chong's Greatest Hits. In fact, that was a working title.
That would have worked. That would have been good.
When Cheech heard Up in Smoke, and then Cheech
No, it's
wrote.
great.
So yeah, I wrote the song.
Okay.
This guy.
See, it's important. And I'll tell you why it's important.
Okay, Tommy.
Tommy.
Does someone have a joint? I gotta get this guy to chill out.
You're together, you've been with them all your life. Don't you think something should have come out of it? You know?
Oh, I think that's his line.
Yeah.
Which one of you is the bigger stoner?
Oh,
I mean, today and back then.
Tommy.
Oh, are you the bigger stoner or me? I don't know. I saw a T-shirt the other day that said "Chicken Pot Pie," my 3 favorite things.
How long were you in jail for?
9 months.
Wow. Did you meet any nice guys? Did you meet any nice guys?
Nice guys in prison.
I was going to say you would be great in
Anyway.
Don't knock it if you haven't tried it.
All right, Tommy.
He never visited me.
I did
One
visit
time.
you.
One time.
That's all it took.
Hell yeah.
I get it. You're in jail.
I think I see you today. You guys still love each other, right? All right. Well, let's end it on that. Thank you so much. It's the movie.
I don't know, man.
By the way.
I'm saying they're best friends.
Go see it. Cheech and Chong, everybody. Burn book, a tech love story. Kara Swisher. Great to see you as always.
That last name. The stoner's
so much
name.
good stuff to talk about that's going on. But can't China put an end to that? Can't they? I feel like he picked a fight with a bigger bully than him. And that we don't have the leverage. This is the problem with
That's
this
what it looks
strategy,
like.
in my view, is that China has the rare earth metals. China sends us the phones. China has the antibiotics, for Christ's sake.
And then we should do a trade agreement with Japan. We should do one with the UK. But we probably got the order wrong. We should have done those
why
first.
kick the allies in the teeth doing it? Why do that while kicking Canada, Mexico, all these different...
I
Yeah.
don't believe we should. I think we should embrace those
I
together.
would love to know what the strategy is, because it feels like there's an expression in tech called chaos monkey. Well, this particular chaos monkey is throwing feces all over the planet, essentially, and saying, as Scott Galloway on our podcast said, it's like he's not playing 4D chess; he's eating the chess pieces, and he's which is a good joke. I have to attribute it to Scott, but.
And you got to get China to the table. I don't think they would be coming
I'll give
to
him
the
this.
table.
He is able to say to American people things that I just cannot imagine any other president ever saying, which
My
is basically
God.
suck it up.
Yeah.
When Jimmy Carter was run out of town for saying malaise. Trump is like, yeah, your kid doesn't need 30 toys.
Yeah.
Kid needs 2 toys.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you how many toys your kid needs. You fucking brats. Is this the Republican position that the President of the United States gets to tell us what we need?
It's
and
really
Yeah,
ironic.
a billionaire.
A lot of the products,
Come on.
A lot of the Trump products are from China, of course. And
They asked the voters again, if you had the election today, would you vote for Trump or Kamala? And he would win again today.
That doesn't mean that they like what Trump is doing, that just means that they still don't like Kamala Harris.
He was saying different things. He was talking about the economy bringing down the price of eggs, I think.
Yeah.
The biggest meme on the internet is Trump take egg.
As with every Trump idea, not every, but
There's
a lot of them,
truth behind
there is some value in a lot of them.
Yeah.
It's just the way they do it.
The way they do it, yeah.
In this manner. Also, I heard last week, the Republicans are actually thinking about raising taxes on the rich. That never really happens.
No way.
That never really
That was
happens.
an excellent rich person's laugh.
Yeah.
Like,
Because he's rich.
Thank you.
Nothing holds you back from writing a bigger check.
No. Well, no, that's not going to happen.
That's the business he did before he was even in.
But he's president now. Of course, you give it up when you.
But he's not involved in his business.
Oh,
Eric
come on.
runs the resort.
Oh, shut up.
He's done his
Canadians, I don't think you're going to see them here in great numbers for a long time.
The Prime Minister's coming Tuesday.
The Prime Minister, that's not exactly a tourist, Kevin. They've come up with some tourist posters. Would you like to see them? These are to try to get people to still come to America. I don't know if they're going to work. For example, there's see Mount Rushmore before they add Trump to it.
Oh my God. I wouldn't be surprised.
And I don't know if people know what a national strike is. We've seen them in other countries. We've certainly seen solidarity in Poland at one point. This is when the whole country goes on strike. I'm not against this idea or exploring it. I just want to ask if it's feasible in America. I mean, we've seen it certainly in European countries. France, you know, a strike with a union is when one sector goes on strike. A national
Okay.
strike is when everybody says, fuck this. We just cannot take this government and what it's doing. Is this something that is feasible here in America? Would Americans have the discipline to do it? And no.
No.
No, I would agree. Not at all.
A couple of weeks ago, she got into big trouble because she was in the Oval Office and hid.
She went like
hid in the Oval Office.
Oh, her.
I mean, and he calls her up, which she didn't expect, and then they got a picture of her hugging him or smiling with him. There it is. And now she's history's greatest monster for that. And I would just like to say, I was trying to help her the other week. Just own it like a certain talk show host did. When you meet the president. A lot of ladies.
A lot of bad
Anyone who
ladies.
says nothing is a nasty woman.
Nasty lady.
A
But
nasty woman.
he did it.
You have to understand.
I have a lot of Democratic governors who call me to ask me to talk to the president. I said, why don't you just
Wow.
Too few Americans have a lot of friends. He said this could help make up for the friends Americans wish they had.
Right.
I don't want to live in this world where my friend is
AI.
R2D2. I really don't.
Yeah.
R2D2.
And they will be your friends. They will do
They're
things for
using
you.
agents as a model?
Agentic, yes.
Whoa.
Yes. It's a new word. Now you have it. It's ridiculous.
What happened to that? I remember
gone.
the metaverse where you put the thing on and we were all, I mean,
They still have it.
Zuckerberg
They
was
have it.
so in on it, though, he renamed the company Meta.
Yeah. Well, he was
because
hiding.
he thought we were all going to live in this world. Well, oh, I'm riding a unicorn at work. And, you know, it got infiltrated by a bunch of horny guys who were cyber fondling the women and stuff like, I mean.
But there are benefits to it, not that for any benefit.
We're still here in the 21st century, so wrap it up now and go to New Rule.
New rule.
New Rule, now that Chubby Checker has been inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, the Hall must issue an apology to any recording artist who didn't make it in and recorded more than one song. Because here's a list of Chubby's records. Twist with Chubby Checker. Twist along with Chubby Checker. Your twist party with Chubby Checker. For twisters only. For teen twisters only. Twisting around the world. Don't knock the twist. Let's twist again and still twist it. I mean, it was a good song, but Chubby has to admit that the twist isn't a real dance. There's no steps. There's just this. Instead of saying that the $67 million superplane that fell off the side of one of our aircraft carriers this week was lost at sea, just say it was promoted to submarine. And And then to artificial reef. And don't say it happened because they were evading some Houthis, because that's totally different than being chased. It's more like when you see your ex in a store. Never had high hopes for that one. All right. How the Pope chose a Dodge Ram as his final Pope-mobile. That's right. Pope-mobiles in the past have been made by Mercedes, Fiat, Toyota, Jeep, and Renault. But when Francis needed to pick a car maker for his last swing around Vatican City, he chose Ram Tough.
Yeah.
Nero the climber, who had to be airlifted from near the summit of Mount Fuji because of altitude sickness, then returned 4 days later because he thought he lost his phone there and went back. And then had to be rescued again.
Oh, no.
He must be taken back up to Mount Fuji and thrown into the volcano. Here's what happened. The bride, an impressive, attractive nurse named Sarah Carton, they were at the altar, all dressed up, almost to the part where they eat cake and do the electric slide. When Sarah broke the news to her man that she just couldn't go through with it. Had he cheated on her? Abused her? No. It was because of Black Lives Matter.
Oh,
because
God.
if there's one thing we know about the young liberal women of today, it's that they are very, very high in their standards. Well, he had not done the work on this issue.
When I asked him about it, he was like, I guess I've never really thought too much about it.
And that's when Sarah realized she'd rather die alone.
Man.
Because love isn't blind, it's woke. Well, now, to be fair to Sarah, it wasn't just Black Lives Matter. Ben also didn't have much to say about the vaccine. And his position on trans was basically, I don't know, I guess. Sarah's sister is gay. And when she told that to Ben, Ben said he had, quote, no discomfort around that community at all. Not good enough, Ben. What he meant to say is, fuck yeah, I fucking love it.
Yeah.
We're never going to win elections or have any more babies.
Wow.
This inclination from certain liberals to always and immediately excommunicate instead of communicate. I mean, look at this stiff. What'd you expect? We all should do a lot of things. I should meditate and finish Moby Dick and learn to get to sleep without a gummy.
Yeah. Look how she looked at him.
All right, that's our show. I want to thank my guests, Kevin McCarthy, Kara Swisher, and Cheech and Chong. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
All right. Now we'll catch you on the next one.